Hello, today is October 9th, 2018, 85 degrees in Fort Lauderdale. And today I'm going to talk about some of the things that I've talked in the past, but in a little different way. I have talked about perpetual generations, and some writers in the beginning of the 20th century have spoken about some of these things in a little different way, but with based on scriptures on the Bible. Now, one of them, it's called Russian Cosmism. Now, Russian Cosmism is a philosophical and cultural movement that emerged early in the 20th century in Russia. Now, the theory behind this is that Cosmism entailed a broad theory of natural philosophy, combining the elements of religion and ethics with a history and philosophy of the beginning of all things, evolution, and the future of existence of the cosmos and humankind. Now, it combined the elements from both Eastern and Western philosophic traditions, as well from the Russian Orthodox Church, as we know, just completed 1,030 years along with Russia, Belarus, and the Ukraine. Now, Cosmism was one of the influence on proletokult, or proletakskaya kultura. And after the October Revolution, the term can be applied to the poetry of such writers as Mikhail Gerasimov and Vladimir Kirillov. It's an emotional paeans, meaning the hardships of life, of physical labor, machines, and the collective of industrial worker, organized around the image of the universal proletarian, who strides forth from Earth to conquer planet and stars. Now, this form of Cosmism, along with the writings of Nikolai Fyodorov, was a strong influence on Andrei Platonov. Now, we talked about the perpetual generations, and I have talked about these perpetual generations of natural people on Earth. And there are three passages speaking of 1,000 generations, which is Hebraism for perpetual generations. You can find that in Deuteronomy 7:9, 1 Chronicles 16th, 15th, and Psalms 105:8. Now, Psalms 9:10, Moses speaks of our days being about 70 to 80 years. If the 1,000 generations were to be calculated on these bases, we should have a continuance of human race for 70 to 80,000 years. Now, if we can consider this fact, of course, once the earth is populated, and if we give 1 acre for every human, without, of course, the oceans, because Revelation states that the oceans will cease to exist, we have about 121 billion people. Not forgetting, of course, the New Jerusalem, which is 1,500 miles high by 1,500 miles wide, without the ocean territory, of course. Now, let's talk about the Abraham's seed and his posterity for 1 second. Now, let's look to Genesis 22:17. I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky and as the sand on the seashore. Your descendants will take possession of the cities of their enemies. That's Genesis 22:17. Now, let's do something interesting. Hey Siri, 500 quadrillion.
The answer is 500,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,
Now, there are 10 times more stars in the sky than the grains of sand in the whole world. Scientists say, astronomers have worked out that there are 70,000 million of 7 followed by 22 zeros. Stars visible from the Earth through a telescope. Now let's try this again. Hey Siri, 500 quintillion.
The answer is a 21-digit number beginning with 5000.
So that's 21 zeros. Abraham's seed, his posterity, will be greater than 500 quadrillion. And more, even so, of the stars in the sky. That's more than 500 quadrillion people that will populate the whole universe. That's that simple. Impressive, huh? Now, many ideas of the Russian cosmists were later developed by those in the transhumanist movement. Victor Skumin, he argues that the culture of health will play an important role in the creation of the human spiritual society into the solar system. The culture of health is basic science about spiritual humanity. It studies the perspectives of harmonious development of the spiritual man and spiritual ethnos as a conscious creator of the state of light into the territory of the solar system. This is by Skumin. Now, among the major representatives of Russian cosmism was Nikolai Fyodorovich Fyodorov, 1828 to 1903. He was an advocate of radical life extension by means of scientific methods, human immortality, and resurrection of dead people. Now, we understand that the Christ brought people from the dead into life by the power of the Holy Spirit. And the fact that he used the preternatural world means outside of the natural world. Nikolai, he wanted to achieve immortality and bring the resurrection of people from the dead by scientific methods, not by the preternatural world like Christ wanted to. But, he also said that, if humans fail that, God will take over. And of course, it's exactly what's going to happen. In 1881, the Russian revolutionary and rocket pioneer Nikolai proposed an idea of pulsed rocket propulsion by combustions of explosives, which was an early precursor for Project Orion. Now, Konstantin Tsiolkovsky, 1857 to 1935, was among the pioneers of theoretical space exploration and cosmonautics. In 1903, he published a book called The Exploration of the Cosmic Space by Means of Reactive Devices, Rockets. It was the very first serious scientific work on space travel. Now, he believed that colonizing space would lead to the perfection of the human race with immortality and carefree existence. He also developed ideas of an animated atom as well as a radiant mankind. Now, other cosmists, including Vladimir Vernadsky, I think I pronounced his last name wrong, who developed the notion of non-sphere, and Alexander Chernetsky, 1964, pioneer another study of the sun's effect on biology. Now, a lot of these writers, they already desire the fact that, in the near future or later in the future, man will travel space and beyond. And this is actually will happen in the future. And of course, with NASA and the Russian counterpart Roscosmos, the space exploration and the fact that men want to travel space and beyond, and even now there are talks of colonizing Mars or maybe even the moon, it's a fact that men are looking for another place to live. And soon we'll leave Earth. And this will be possible, of course, in the near future by means of divine intervention once the Earth is populated. We'll have to look for other places to live. Now, the fact that we the saints, outside of the natural people, will of course live in the New Jerusalem. We'll live there into eternity, and those outside of the in the natural world will have access to the city, but will not live in the city. This will be for us only, the redeemed saints. Well, hopefully you like this video. Thank you very much, and may God bless, and I'll see you next time.